For most adolescents, social life is a dominant interest. In fact, every school has several groups or cliques that they belong to. This boy's name is Rod Hunter. Rod is one of the more popular students in school. He's a three-letter athlete and comes from a family with a good income and social prestige. His lack of tact and grace is made up for by his unusually large fists. Which he uses to respond to any questions regarding his intelligence. Rod is the leader of the clique that dominates the social life of the school. Next to him is Ben. Ben is what you would consider lower class, but his exceptional talent for praising Rod and feeding his already inflated ego allows him a place at the table. He's what psychologists would call a rider, buying a first-class ticket on Rod's coattails to total acceptance. Then there's the middle case, Susie Summers. She belongs to the clique and has worked tirelessly to build her modest collection of friends. Yet she doesn't enjoy the same popularity as Rod, perhaps because, unlike him, she is unwilling to
We had it. Hand over the goods. You owe us.
I ain't giving you poison-shilling chem pushers anything. Do you know what that junk has done to my boy?
He bought them fair and square, Trudy. Ain't our fault if he's strung out. Now don't make me come in there and shoot up that little trading post of yours. Whoa, whoa. Easy there, Scaver. This doesn't involve you.
What's going on here?
It's a simple business dispute, got it? Trudy's sitting on a pile of goods that she owes me. I tried reasoning with her, but it looks like I gotta take what's mine by force. Want to make some easy money? Help me out. I could use another gun. Or maybe you think you can talk some sense into her.
If I help, I expect to get paid.
All right. I was gonna pay you 100 caps, but why don't we make it 125?
Who's Trudy?
See that diner right in front of us? Trudy owns the place. She's converted it into a small shop. I sell her chems, she gives me caps and parts I need. And when her son Patrick had his 18th birthday, I might have sold him some jet, then some more, then a lot more. Now he's in debt.
Jet? What's Jet?
That's my top seller. Gives you a high like you wouldn't believe. My customers swear it makes them faster, always take off before a fight. I guess Patrick was looking to get from under his mama's skirt and be like the tough guys. So, he bought some. And once you're on it, why stop? Now I've sold that boy a lot of my jet, And I expect someone to make good on his promises that I get paid.
Looks to me like they shouldn't have bought that jet and you shouldn't have sold it to them.
Yeah, well, hindsight's a bitch. And I'm holding the leash. Now, you gonna help us out, or what?
I'll talk to her. Maybe we can work this out.
Appreciate it. If things go sideways, we'll back you up.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through?
Hey,
I saw you in that poison cellar talking. Well, he ain't getting his money. Period.
why? What's this all about?
Oh, that chem pusher didn't tell you? He got my boy hooked on Jet. Sold him a ton of junk on credit. And now he expects me to pay him off. That bastard ain't getting a single damn cap from me.
Look, you owe them money. If you just pay them, then this will be over. Everyone walks away without getting hurt.
All right, I'll pay. But that bastard ain't gonna sell one more drop of Jet to my boy. You hear that, Wolfgang? You'll get your damn money, but I better not catch you selling chems to my boy again.
Fine by me, Trudy.
It is up to
Your
you.
son's broke as shit
Of course,
anyhow.
the
All
choice
right.
seems rather
Crisis
simple
is over.
when you compare the two
If you're here to
options before
trade,
you.
step up to
On
the
one
counter.
hand, you can leave our country in the hands of an old man who thinks Elvis is the name
We get
of an
paid,
Irish
and I don't
saint,
even gotta
and
shoot
would struggle
nobody.
to spell the
Good
word
job.
cat if
Here.
you didn't spot him the C
Now, how about I
and
show
the
you
T.
all the pick-me-ups I
Or
have to
on the
offer?
other hand, you can elect the man who directed, cast,
Sure.
and produced.
Let's take a look.
You
Heard
got
the start of
needs,
this campaign
I
song.
got product.
A jingle whose production required leadership, ingenuity, and a keen eye for talent. Of course, if the jingle didn't sell you on why I, Thomas Kennedy, should be your next president, then perhaps what I'm about to say will. Unlike my opponent, Mr. Washington, I wasn't born in the previous century, or with a silver spoon in my mouth. In fact, as heir to an ice cream conglomerate, I prefer to use the small wooden spoons found in every cup of our signature Rocky Road. And as a business owner, I understand the issues that face mom and pop stores like the one in your town. That's why if you vote for me, my first act as president will be to lower the payroll tax, as well as provide free ice cream coupons for every household in America. But ultimately, I can only present the options. The choice is yours. Washington or Kennedy. Past or present. China or America. Sink or swim. It's really up to you.
Don't touch that dial now. You found the best radio station in Boston. Atomic Radio.
I don't want you to leave, Rick.
Look, Mary, I'm a bartender. You know damn well that means I have to work nights.
Yes.
The news reports, they're calling him the Boston Butcher, and he's already killed a half dozen women all over Lexington.
We don't know that for sure. The Bugle's just trying to stir things up to sell papers. And the way you're acting, I'd say it's working.
Oh, please, Rick, stay with me. It'll just be for tonight.
That's what you said last night. And the night before. I've already used up all my sick days. Do you want me to lose my job, too?
All right, but promise you'll come home as soon as your shift is over.
Jesus, I'll be home when the work's done, not a moment sooner.
Who is it?
I'm afraid of your husband. He asked me to check up on you, make sure you're all right.
Oh, that was nice of him. I have to admit, I'm a bit of a wreck. Do you work at the bar?
That's right, Fred Sampson. Your husband probably mentioned me before.
He doesn't like to talk about work.
That's funny. I can't get him to shut up. It's part of the reason I volunteered to check on you. He said you were frightened by that whole business in the papers.
Are you talking about the butcher?
Sure, but I'm afraid I haven't been following it as closely as you have. What do you know about him?
It's all in today's issue of the Bugle. Go on, read it.
Wow. It says here you killed 6 women, all redheads in their 20s. Say, you're a redhead.
That's right.
And you're about 25, right?
22.
Huh. Now I see why you're worried.
It's not just that. If you read further down, there was also an eyewitness who saw him leave the building of one of the victims. They said he was a Caucasian man, about 6 feet tall, with blonde hair and blue eyes. And I've seen at least 3 men that fit that description living on this street alone.
6 feet tall, blonde hair and blue eyes. Hey, come to think of it, I fit that description.
It also mentions he has a bit of a limp.
I've got a buck leg from a shrapnel wound I got in Korea.
And one other detail. They said he carved the letters FS on the bedpost of one of his victims. The police think it might be his initials, like Frank Smith.
Or Fred Sampson.
One of the detectives said there was no forced entry, which means he probably entered the homes pretending to be a friend or a relative, or a spouse's co-worker. Sort of like the way you and Rick know each other.
Hold on. You don't think people are going to say I'm the butcher, do you?
You? But why? You're Fred Sampson, Rick's friend from work.
And your landlord saw me walk in this room. You should be calling the police right now.
Now, why would he do that? Fred, what's the matter?
I think I better go.
Wait, you can't leave. What if the butcher comes? What if he's here in this building?
Let go of my arm,
No,
lady.
you mustn't go. Please.
Here, they found the butcher.
Really? Where?
Over at the Roadside Pines Hotel. The police chased him down there from one of the buildings nearby. In the end, I guess the guy figured it was best to take the easy way out.
God, that's unfortunate. I was actually worried he'd come after me next. I mean, there's thousands of women in the city. The chances of it happening were slim to none.
That's what I was saying from the start. I told you from the beginning you had nothing to worry about. But you had to get all hysterical, just like all the other dames.
You're right. I'm such a foolish girl.
Well, don't be so hard on yourself. You did one thing right. You married me.
That I did. Oh, and by the way, remind me to thank your coworker, Fred, for coming over the other night. He really helped me deal with the anxiety.
Fred? I don't know anyone named Fred.
Drinking in sunshine, when out of that orange-colored view. I got a look at you. One look and I yell timber. Watch out for flying glass. Cause the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started the shot I've been hitting. This is it, I dig it. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash, bam, alakazam. Out of an orange-colored sky. One look and I yell timber. Watch out for flying glass. Cause the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started to shout. I've been hit. This is it, I dig it. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash, bam, alakazam. I sky. Alakazam and goodbye.
And now, a message from our sponsors.
Well, that ends another patrol. The streets of Boston are safe.
Stop right there. Or should I say, freeze.
Good God! The Siberian shiver! But I locked you up.
Yes, you did. But I escaped, and I have been plotting my revenge ever since. And you know how revenge is best served? Cold.
Yes, I'm familiar with the phrase. And what deviously icy plan have you chilled up this time?
Why, I've turned your car into an icebox. And with your engine in shambles, you won't be making it home tonight. And when you're late for work tomorrow, everyone will know your secret. And I do not mean the cape and tie.
Ah, you silly little man. Do you think I wouldn't be prepared for such a scenario?
No, it can't be.
That's right. I put Suprathaw antifreeze in this engine, which means lasting protection from extreme conditions. Conditions like the blast from your frost ray.
Damn you, Tropic Man. Damn you, equatorial temperatures from now until the end of time.
Don't damn me. Damn the good folks at Suprathaw. Their antifreeze really saved the day, and it can save you too.
The best in talk, sports, drama, and music. Atomic Radio.
High atop the snow-drenched mountains of Hibernia, upon peaks no mortal dare climb, lays an orb with the promise of springs. Only one man is virile enough to conquer its icy summit, Grognak the Barbarian. But these aren't just any snows. These are the fabled snows of lust.
My dear barbarian, I fear you made a mistake in coming here. It is known that no mortal man can resist the snows of lust. For when you gaze upon its beauty, any desire to climb this mountain will be frozen solid.
It is you who tempt death, Siren, for you underestimate the fire in Grognak's loins.
By the winters of Asgard, such heat!
Now do you see, woman? Grognak's desire does not freeze, it burns!
Will Grognak beat back the bordello of blizzard? Or will the snows of lust pursue our hero and leave the land in an endless winter? Find out in this special adventure, Grognak the Barbarian, lost in the snows of lust.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
What's that burning up the road? Is it a wildfire? Nuclear fallout? No, it's the new Chrysler's Corvega Atomic V8, the fastest automotive vehicle ever built. And what makes the Corvega faster than any other car? Why, it's the fins. These stylish tail fins aren't just for show. They're the exact same fins you'll find on ships NASA engineers for spaceflight. What does that have to do with automobiles? Nothing, if you're talking about the cars produced by our competitors. But the Corvega isn't just a car. It's a giant leap forward, delivered by a company with the know-how and ingenuity to reach for the moon, just like America. Chrysler, America's #1 producer of nuclear-powered automobiles.
And now, some music.
it, that's the way I'm gonna dig. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, paint it up like hay. Have a rocking good time, throw it all away. Well, I can see me now in my long Cadillac. Hinges in the middle, spare wheel on the back. Man, don't you know I'd be hard to stop when I find that big uranium rock. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, paint it up like hay. Have a rocking good time, throw it all away. Yes, that's me in my long Cadillac. Heading down the road and I ain't coming back. Ain't no red light gonna make me stop when I find that big uranium rock. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, paint it up like hay. Have a rocking good time and throw it all away.
We're on the air from Bristol to Beantown. This is Atomic Radio.
On this day in 1959, 2 years after the Russians sent a dog into orbit, the United States of America demonstrated their own aeronautical ingenuity by making Mr. Pebbles the first cat in space. Here's an explanation from NASA's chief director, Dr. Irene Braun, on why she chose a feline for this mission.
Well, we believe the independence displayed by the domestic cat made it a far greater candidate for space travel. We've all seen what happens when dogs are without their master. I think it's safe to say that poor Russian canine went insane from the claustrophobia alone. Mr. Pebbles, in contrast, was more at home the furthest it's away from it.
600 miles up, our intrepid feline joined the meteors in orbit, traveling at speeds of 18,000 miles an hour. A shocked Russian community could only look on in awe as America once again flexed its extraordinary might. Meanwhile, the President, the French Prime Minister, and other NATO leaders gathered in Paris to discuss the politics of the coming space age. Their decision? That 3 European nations would be armed with their own feline astronauts. Mr. Whiskers, Miss Pussy, and folk singer Cat Stevens, further strengthening the coalition's alliance in the years to come. But none of this would be possible without the heroics of Mr. Pebbles, the first cat in space, on this day in 1959.
It ended when does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Honey, the TV's on the fritz again.
Did you try kicking it?
I've tried kicking it, shooting it, and even tossing it in the microwave. And the fact is, I think it's cooked.
Well, don't worry. I heard the Radiation King is coming to a city near us.
Sweetie, can you keep your voice down? You can't support a monarchy in this day and age. The neighbors might think we're anti-American.
Oh, sugar cakes. The Radiation King isn't a monarch. He's just the king of electronics.
They have a king for that?
Well, when you offer 3 different types of TV sets, as well as ham radios and jukeboxes at rock-bottom prices, there's no title more appropriate.
But what does radiation have to do with electronics?
You'll just have to read the caution list instead. Let's just say, the next time you need an X-ray, we might not need to go to the doctor. We can just use the big screen.
A big screen? Do you mean it?
Oh yes, I'm talking 16 inches. We might not even have enough space, but we'll have more than enough money, thanks to the Radiation King.
We're on the air from Bristle to Beantown. This is Atomic Radio. Is the electromagnetic shielding up? Without it, the machine might malfunction.
It's up. Not that it'll help much, given the other dozen or so parts that could fail in its place.
Dr. Sanders, I get the distinct feeling you don't share my enthusiasm for this project.
Dr. Jones, I'd like to think of the 20 years that we've been together, I've given you a lot. I've given you my time, my sweat, and my expertise. I even gave you my secret recipe for banana bread. Not that you know how to use it, but the one thing I won't give you is my enthusiasm. Not when you choose to risk your life for this experiment.
Risk is a part of life, Doctor. You take a risk when you eat your sugar bombs in the morning, when you drive to Fort Vegas, when you cheat on your husband. Every second is a dice roll. The only saving grace is that you have some semblance of control. But when it comes to nuclear war, to radioactive fallout and the end of days, you have no choice. Your fate is left to the hands of the men that are fingers on the button, and you know there's only a matter of time before one of them pushes it. That's why we built our own machine, with our own button. One that will send me back in time, and when you press it, nothing will be the same. Take your finger off the button.
I'm sorry, but what button?
You know which one. The one you use in the event of an invasion. The button that fires the nukes.
Dr. Jones, you do realize there isn't an actual button, right?
What do you mean?
Dr. Jones, there's no big red button to fire a nuclear arsenal. The generals, they make a recommendation, then I give the authorization to launch.
You're wrong, Mr. President. I'm positive there's a button somewhere. And with the way things are going, it's only a matter of time before you push it. I know these things because, well, go ahead and ask me how I know.
All right. I'm gonna indulge you. How do you know?
Because I'm a time traveler.
Dr. Jones, that is quite frankly the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
And yet it's the truth. Listen to me, Mr. President. Do not press the button.
I think I've heard quite enough. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
So, how did it go?
I couldn't change a thing. I went to a dozen critical points in history, as far back as the invention of the button itself. Since a single person, I was a time traveler. Not even your husband.
Well, you can hardly... Wait, what?
You think after I told him about the affairs and the drugs, he would... Well, it doesn't matter. I'm beginning to think the past can't be changed, which means we have no choice but to accept this future.
So, what do we do now?
All we can do is hope. If the president doesn't know where the button is, it's possible he'll never get the chance to press it. To ignorance, Dr. Sanders. It's humanity's greatest weakness, and its saving grace.
I'm gonna eat your legs when you're dead, human! Oh, pain! This is no game, human! We win, you die! For that!
Everyone tells me he's no good. He doesn't love me like he should. I would forget him if I only could. He's a demon. He's a devil. He's a god. That man can look me in the eye and tell the biggest, sweetest lie. And I forget that lipstick on his tie. He's a demon. He's a devil. Sometimes I make up my mind that I'll stop being so blind and tell him off real bad. But it's almost time, then there I am in his arms. Tell him drop dead, but I keep loving him instead. My mama must love me. He's a devil. Sometimes he thrills me through and through. Sometimes he's sweet, sometimes he's true. Sometimes I wish he were in Timbuktu. He's a demon. He's a devil. He's a dog. He says he'll call for me at 9 and take me out somewhere to dine. Then staggers in and sings sweet and old line. He's a darling. He's a dreamboat. He's a dog. I had the measles at 2, the chicken pox and the flu. My whooping cough was grim. poison ivy it close. To top it, now I've got him. He's a palooka, he's a brood. He drives me crazy, but he's cute. Why do I love a guy I ought to shoot? He's a demon. He is a devil. He is a dog.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Drama, comedy, and sports, all at the turn of a dime. If you want the best in entertainment, the only place to find it is in front of a Universal Electric black daylight television set. That's right, with this television you'll get blacker blacks and whiter whites, helping your eyes segregate the colors on screen better than any other brand. The cabinet has been slaved over by America's finest craftsmen and features a brown mahogany finish that has been hand-whipped and varnished for lasting durability. Despite being a separate piece of furniture, you'll find it fits equally into any room, all at a much lower cost to you. So own a Universal Electric television today, for better contrast and a better experience.
The best in talk, sports, drama, and music. Atomic Radio.
In an age where monstrous beasts roamed the land and virgin eaters stormed the skies, there was only one man the people could turn to in their darkest hour. Grognak the Barbarian. Watch him go toe-to-tail with the evil Mansorian in this one-of-a-kind motion picture event.
Soon, Grognak, your entire village and all its sultry virgins will belong to me, and there's nothing you can do.
Tell me, you stupid lizard, which half of you is man, top or bottom?
What difference does that make to you?
Because when Grognak rips off that pathetic worm between your legs, he wants to make sure it never grows back.
My tail is not pathetic.
Grognak was not talking about your tail.
Will the Mansorian unleash the deadly virgin eater upon the land? Or will Grognak escape his bonds and save the fair village maidens? Find out in this special Hubris Comics presentation of Grognak the Barbarian.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey there. Why don't you come a little closer? Don't be shy. You know what I want, don't you? I want you to take it off. I want you to take it all off. No, not your clothes, handsome. You can keep those on. I want you to take off all that pesky facial hair. And nothing takes it off like the Blades brand razor. Blades. Because if there's one thing a woman like me wants, it's a man who's unafraid to take it off.
And now some music.
Run like a rabbit, fly like a bee. No matter what you do, you'll never get away from me because I'm right behind you, baby. I'm right behind you, baby. Well, I'm right behind you, baby, and you'll never get away from me. Well, you can make up your face, now your hair. No matter what you do, turn around and I'll be there to go. Right behind you, baby. I'm right behind you, baby. Well, I'm right behind you, baby, and you'll never gonna get away. Well, you can go to the east, go to the west, the north and the south, and all the rest. You can walk at the heart, patrol across the floor. No matter what you do, you'll never get them anymore. Well, you can fly through the clouds, sail on the sea. No matter what you do, you'll never get away from me because
best in talk, sports, drama, and music. Atomic Radio.
So, you want to hear a story? Well, I got one I could tell you. The whole thing started 2 nights ago. I got taken downtown by a couple coppers. They caught me trying to stick up a red rocket. One of them fancy new ones they got for those atomic cars. Problem is, I had this bad cold I couldn't shake. And when I started coughing, that gave the clerk a chance to reach for his piece. An hour later, the cops, they had me in cuffs. Even worse, the copper who arrested me, well, I bumped off his partner about 3 months ago. And now he's been on my case ever since. Yeah, there's a real bad rap. There's no way out. What do you want, copper? Whatever it is, you can't make me talk.
You killed my partner, you filthy rat. Jimmy Buchanan. Remember? October 3rd, 2049.
Jimmy Buchanan? That guy? Listen, do you think this pretty mug is capable of a murder like that? I was at Bristol that day. Just ask Kit Malone. Runs a bar downtown. He'll tell you.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure all your boys will vouch for you. But this ain't a court of law.
Oh, yeah? What is this place anyway?
You ever heard of Lenny the Lip? He was a cop killer too.
Lenny the Lip. Lenny the
Bingo.
Lip. No, don't ring any bells.
Yeah, I bet it doesn't. See, we didn't give poor Lenny a trial. No papers, no judge, just 4 walls and a lifetime to think.
So, you left him here alone to rot?
That was the plan. Except we only had him here for 3 days before he just up and vanished.
You saying he got away?
No, I'm saying he vanished. In the thin air. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out either. There wasn't a trace of him in or out of the cell. I even spent a night in there, just to try and get in his head. I didn't find a shred of evidence. Well, except for the smell.
Whoa, what do you mean? What smell?
You don't smell it? It's all over this prison. Alright, let me throw another name at you. Johnny Scars. Ever heard of him? Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. The serial killer. The one that sliced up all those peoples and turned them into art. One sick bastard, that one. He died here too, you know. The judge gave him the chair, right in this very prison. But what you don't know is, when the doc strapped him in, he got the voltage wrong. But it wasn't long before we all figured it out. In fact, I was standing right over there when the flames started to melt his skin.
Jesus, you coppers are sick, you know that?
You know what's the hardest part of watching a man get the chair? It isn't the shaking or the sparks or even the screams. It's the smell. That faint, crisp smell of a man being cooked alive.
Nice.
What do you plan on doing with me?
Me? I don't plan on doing anything. See, you asked me earlier if we left Lenny alone to rot. Well, we left him in that cell. But he sure as hell wasn't alone. Say hi to Johnny for me.
No! Wait! Come back here! Let me out of here, you filthy coppers! Let me out of here!
That's it.
That was the last I saw of that cop. It's been 2 days without a pot to piss in. Don't know how long they plan on making me stay here. Maybe they think if they leave me here alone, I'll start seeing things. Maybe they want me to beg them to let me out before Johnny Scars comes for me. The copper said Lenny was in here for 3 days, so I just gotta last until then. Still, something's off about this cell. Like there isn't enough air inside. Like it's hard to breathe. Almost as if something is burning.
think you can hide?
Hey, everybody, did the news get around about a guy named Butcher Pete? Old Pete just flew into this town and he's chopping up all the women.
Come on out. I'll make it nice and quick. You can trust me.
Butcher Pete's got a long, sharp knife. He starts chopping and don't know when to stop. All you fellas better
Show your face. Come on. I dare you.
Married women, old maids and all. Oh, Pete, he loves that meat. Wakes up in the morning, hands on fire. Chops from sunrise to sunset. I don't see how he stays alive. Meat's gonna be the death of old Pete yet. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking. He's hacking and whacking and smacking.
Nice for me. You're dead!
Yet.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Disappear!
Building a perfect home for you and your family takes hard work and dedication. But great home design ideas don't come from hard work or even your head. They come from Picket Fences. For just $32.99 an issue, you'll have access to the latest advancements in interior decorating and lawn care. Pretty soon, you'll be the envy of all your neighbors, and with our help, you can learn to build a fence so high that you'll never have to see them again. Because your home is your castle, and with Picket Fences, you can make it feel like one. Picket Fences. Welcome home.
You're listening to Atomic Radio, the #1 AM station in all of Boston.
They say the carpenter lives a long life. Whether you spend your days at the church or the saloon, you'll find traces of his legacy in every brick, board, and nail. The gunsmith is no different. You'll find his signature in the holsters of sheriffs and bandits alike, his name written in the trails of gunsmoke. But neither the carpenter nor the gunsmith lived as long as one Samantha Bell. That's because she put her soul into a song. No one knew for sure when she met the man from the Far East. The lyrics say he walked right out of the Pacific, and maybe that's true. They came from lands unknown to work on a railroad that would someday cross the
Sweet.
continental United States. So when Samantha's father sent her back to Boston, putting a good 3,000 miles between her and her love, the man saw it as a test. He was going to take the train east one day, even if it meant laying down the track himself. Samantha believed it, too. And on the day she left and every day after, she'd turn toward the sunset and sing him a song. She let its melody travel on the wind from town to town, ear to ear,
hoping one day it'd reach his. But happy endings were the stuff of fairy tales and pixie dust. The song never found him, and the man never made it east. Still, so strong was their love that the echoes remain. And late at night, if you listen for it, you can hear Samantha humming by the shore, in hopes that one day she'll wander into his arms again.
Yes.
Does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.
And now a message from our sponsor. School's out for the day. Some of the boys want to go to the vacant lot to play catch. Not today, fellas, Gary tells them. I've got to be home before dark. Gary's got a lot on his mind, you see. Not only is his book report due next week, but the communists might invade America, and he doesn't know an ounce of Chinese. Don't worry, Gary. You won't have to translate that report into Mandarin, and
What the hell is Josh doing? He's been gone for over an hour. We need to get out of here. The guys are thinking we're already at Concord. If
listening to Atomic Radio, the #1 AM station in all of Boston.
I'm taking you out of the game, Skip.
My name's Jean-Baptiste, Coach.
Damn it, Skip. Didn't I tell you I don't speak French?
Neither do I. And besides, I thought you were the skipper.
I am the skipper, and you're Skip. And this peanut butter on my thumb is Skippy.
What's the peanut butter for?
What do you think it's for? It's the doctor of the baseball.
My baseball needs a doctor? Is it sick?
It's got the PTSD, you dummy. Because in case you hadn't noticed, the team from St. Louis has spent the last hour knocking the cover out the thing. And do you know whose fault that is?
I'm afraid I don't, Coach.
Yours, you nincompoop.
I thought you said my name was Skip.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Happened once, it's happened a million times before. You walk into an establishment, ask the attendant to buy you. The poor person brushes up beside you and asks, how much? As if they could possibly afford the very luxuries you worked your entire life to possess. All you want is a place to shop for fine art, handsome furnishings, and the cutting edge of modern fashion, without having to discern who is a customer and who is the help. So if you're looking for a shopping experience that's classy and sophisticated, then look no further than Haymarket Mall. Haymarket Mall, for the finer things in life.
And now, some music.
It's all over, but the cry, and nobody's crying but me. Friends all over know I'm trying to forget about how much I care for you. It's all over, but the dreaming, poor little dreams that keep trying to come true. It's all over, but the cry, and I can't get over crying over you. It's all over, but the cry, and nobody's crying but me.
Got it.
Friends all over know I'm trying to forget about how much I care for you. It's all over, but the dreaming, poor little dream keep trying to come true. It's all over, but the crying, and I can't get over crying over you.
You're listening to Atomic Radio, the #1 AM station in all of Boston.
And now, an important public service announcement.
America is a country founded on liberty and virtue. These are things that must be nurtured from generation to generation, lest they wither away to the vagaries of time. You might be wondering, why should I donate my free time to civil service? Well, let me ask you a question. Are you a citizen or a communist? It may seem like an obvious question. Of course you're a citizen. Most of you were born here, whereas some of you may have come here and taken the oath. But citizenship is about more than just being on American soil. It's about maintaining a loyalty to the principles this country was founded on. Which is why many of you well-meaning individuals may be communists without even knowing it. Do you resent the good fortune displayed by our wealthiest citizens? Then you might be a communist. Do you often question the actions of your leaders in government? Then you might be a communist. Do you sometimes feel an attraction to your fellow man that goes beyond platonic? You could be a homosexual, but also a communist. Do you find yourself speaking Russian in your sleep, or have pictures of Lenin in your home? Well, then you might just be a communist. Even if you answered no to the previous questions, it doesn't mean your work is done. It is your job as an American citizen to report any suspicious behavior to the proper authorities. It could be your neighbor, your boss, or even your congressman. Being an American is about more than having the right documents. Remember what it says in the Constitution. As an American, you have the inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of communists, wherever they may hide.
Waiting for you will prove untrue. Then what will you do? Maybe you sit and sigh, wishing that I were. Maybe you'll ask me to come back.
Wishing that I were near. Maybe you'll ask me to come back again. And maybe I'll say maybe.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Every woman wants to look their best for a night on the town, but it's important to remember that when the night is done, many cosmetics leave traces of oil and dirt that can clog pores and leave your skin looking a mess when that handsome gentleman caller wakes you up the next morning. That's why Mary May's new line of cosmetics adds trace amounts of radiation to help ensure your face is completely dirt-free. Using a standard Geiger counter, you can detect when dirt and makeup are still on your face and remove them before they cause problems down the line. If you aren't sure which cosmetics have been radioactively enhanced, just look at the yellow handle symbol on the label. Clinical scientists, beauticians, and men of all types agree. The only way to keep your face clean and beautiful is with Mary May, the leader in cutting-edge cosmetics.
We're on the air from Bristle to Beantown. This is Atomic Radio.
Some people work the 9 to 5, earn what lesser men call an honest living. Me? I play the horses. Wasn't always like this, mind you. It began as a mistake. It ended up as a career. And in between all that was a lot of education. And none the kind they teach in school. Or maybe they do teach it. It's not like I know, considering I've never been. Anyways, lately I've been on a real cooler. I started out the season up 10 knots and dropped down to camp fear in a week.
I came back yesterday with Emma. Everyone's gone. Looks like they left in a hurry and had one hell of a fight. Feral corpses everywhere. Emma and I searched for anything that might tell us where they went. The only thing we found was Anthony. Must have been bad. They never would have left his body there. I set Emma down to the loading dock to wait for me while I check on something. We won't stay long. I just want to get Anthony's body and... Wait. Fuck me.
You got to accent to weight the positive, elim, minate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man has said we better accentuate the positive, elim, minate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Oh, yeah. I'm gone.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Donuts and coffee. The two of them go together like chocolate and roses. Cram and indigestion. Boredom and baseball. Like a cold breeze on a summer day, Coffee and donuts are a match made in heaven. And if you want the best of both, there's only one place to get it. Slocum's Joe. Because some things in life go better together.
You found the best radio station in all of Boston. Atomic Radio.
In the shadowy forests of Reynard lives a formidable adversary who fights with a quick wit and a sleight of hand. In all the world, only one man can be considered his better. Grognak, the Barbarian. Watch him match wits with a diabolical trickster in this tale of sharp minds and sharper swords.
You fell into my trap again, Grognak. And only by solving my riddles will you save yourself from death.
Grognak has no time to play your little boy games, trickster.
Foolish barbarian, still using every muscle except the one that counts.
And what muscle would that be?
What do you think, you mindless ape? The brain!
Ha! Shows what you know. Grognak does not use his brain to count. He uses his fingers. The same fingers he will use to break your neck. Will Grognak solve the trickster's riddle? Or will this puzzling predicament be his ultimate undoing? Find out in this one-of-a-kind, brain-teasing adventure. Grognak the Barbarian in Here Cometh the Trickster!
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hello?
Grain, it's Paulie.
Paulie! So good to hear your voice. I bet you're calling to tell me you got into CIT. Your mother thought it was a waste of time, but I knew you were smart enough.
No, Gran, I didn't get into CIT. I'm in prison.
Prison? Oh, I'm sure it's not a big deal. Everyone in town knows you're a good boy.
It is a big deal, Gran. I moved the car and there's a felon. They're gonna try me as an adult.
Well, how about that? An adult. And all summer you complained how you haven't grown as much as the rest of the boys. But the people at the station can see it plain as day. You're a man now.
That's not a good thing. I can get 20 years.
I don't know. I hear the prison has some good work programs available. You could learn a valuable trade while the other kids are busy studying philosophy and social science.
Gran, that's all well and good, but I need you to bail me out. I only have one phone call.
And you did well to call your gran. Listen, my grandson is no quitter. You tell those kids at the police station you want to stay as long as it takes until you learn everything they have to teach you.
But Gran, some of the other inmates, they're calling me sweetie.
See? You're making friends already.
If you only have one phone call, make sure it counts. If you only have one phone service, make sure it's Bosscom Phone and Television.
That's it.
And now, some music.
Well, I heard the news, there's a rocket tonight. Well, I'm gonna hold my baby tight as I can. Tonight she'll know I'm a mighty, mighty man. I heard the news, there's a rocket tonight. Oh, yes, I heard the news, there's a
Well, the Deacon Joe, the Nell, two of the sleekest cats in town. They'll be there to wait and see.
That dial now. You found the best radio station in Boston. Atomic Radio.
And now, an important public service announcement.
Stein Residence, Gertrude speaking.
Hey, Gertie. I got some bad news. Billy at the shop needs me to cover for him. Something about bees in his pants?
Oh my, that sounds serious.
Yeah. Supposedly, he's only got a 10% chance to keep his dingling, but that's not why I'm calling, Honey Bun. I wanted to let you know that I'll probably have to cancel on our date tonight.
That's a shame. Oh well, I'll see you when you get home, dear.
Love you.
Love you too.
Did she buy it?
Hook, line, and sinker, Billy.
I bet it was the bees that scared her. People are terrified of bees.
That's your ignorance talking. Without bees, the world would be a scary place. There'd be no flowers, no fruits, and no apiologists.
What now?
Apiologist, Billy. That's a fancy name for beekeeper. Now, if you want to talk about something scary, that would be the tarantula hawk.
Is that some kind of bird?
It's a wasp, and if you had one of those in your pants, the last thing you'd be doing is going to the ball game.
Oh no, should I be worried?
Got it.
What if they have a taste for human flesh?
Haha, no. The tarantula hawk, or cazador as they're called in some parts, is too small to eat humans. You're not going to look up in the sky and find a swarm of them stinging people. And do you know who we have to thank for that?
Bees?
Sure, why not? In fact, when the ball game's over, why don't we go back to your place and I'll tell you about the time a bumblebee saved my life.
Wow, you really are man's best friend.
And don't you forget it.
Crawl out through the fallout, baby, when they drop that bomb. Crawl out through the fallout with the greatest of aplomb. When your white count's getting higher, hurry, don't delay. I'll hold you close and kiss those radiation burns away. Crawl out through the fallout, baby, to my loving arms. Through the rain of strontium-90. Think about your hero when you're at ground zero, and crawl out through the fallout back to me. Crawl out through the fallout, baby, you know what I mean. Crawl out through the fallout, 'cause they said this bomb was clean. If you cannot find the way just
Sweet.
for my song, I'll love you all your life, although that may not be too long. Crawl out through the fallout, baby, to my loving arms, while those ICBMs keep us free. When you hear me call
Nice.
out, baby, kick the wall out and crawl out through the fallout back to me. 'Cause you'll be the only girl in the world. Why don't you crawl out through the fallout back to me? Why don't you crawl out through the fallout back to me? won't you crawl up through the floor back to me?
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hey, you! Tired of the same old food in the can? Joe Spucky's offers fresh sandwiches made right before your eyes. The way you want them, and not the way your wife makes them. God damn it! That's way too much mustard, Susan. We've been over this 1,000 times. Meanwhile, over at Joe Spucky's, every topping, sauce, and ingredient is made to your exact specifications. That's because only Joe knows the 3 key ingredients that go into every spoochadella. Freshness, flavor, and fantastic service. So trot on over to Joe's today and try Meatball Spucky and a large tonic for only $55. You try your first
Stay sharp.
spoochadella,
Don't let your guard
you'll
down.
never want a sandwich in.
Crop's been growing pretty good lately.
You're listening to Atomic Radio, the #1 AM station in all of Boston.
How do you think Mr. Pebbles is feeling?
My guess is somewhere between indifference and terror.
Don't all emotions fall in that range?
Well, yes. I said it was a guess after all. I don't like making bold predictions.
We all know you're a pussy, Greg. You don't have to beat around the bush.
My back hurts, my feet hurt. Everything hurts.
Prefers to be called a feline American, but that's besides the point. It's true Mr. Pebbles is a puss, but only in a technical sense. The truth is, he's likely the bravest astronaut we have.
Yes, it's kind of embarrassing, really.
Oh, I wouldn't be too hard on yourself, Greg. There's a reason he's your captain, and it has little to do with you. Fact is, feline race is the most non-tist. Do I have any other kind?
Minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Houston, do you read me? Houston! Mr. Pebbles, we've lost contact with Houston. What do we do? Something's wrong with our comm system. Someone needs to go fix it. Do you get it? If we lose contact with Houston, we're flying half blind out there. God damn it, you stupid cat! Say something! Say something!
Greg, congratulations on the mission.
Never mind, Peter. I need to tell you something. It's about Mr. Pebbles.
He should be meeting with the president shortly. He's receiving the Medal of Freedom, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. He doesn't deserve any of it. Not the medal,
June.
not the cereal boxes.
You hanging in there?
For Christ's sake, he's not even a real astronaut.
What do you mean? Did he have problems piloting the shuttle?
He's a goddamn cat. Of course he had trouble. He can't even hold the
day I
throttle
get up
for
and
crying
tell
out
myself,
loud. Some of those thumbless
Just have
paws.
to get through today.
Now,
You've been
Greg,
through a
what
rough
did I
time,
tell
man.
you about envy and
worst.
jealousy?
I'm not
Just,
jealous. This is a
Let me
matter
know if
of
there's
competence.
anything I can do to help.
You sent me into
okay.
the dead of space under the
Yeah, hey,
command of a mindless furball.
I know I
Mind your rank.
pulling my weight
That's
around
your
here.
captain you're talking about.
And I'm
Point
really trying to do better.
I could have died up there.
And
Come on,
yet,
there's
if it
nothing to
weren't for
apologize
Pebbles,
for.
you'd be dead right now.
You worry about you.
I read the
Everything will
report,
take care of
Greg.
itself. Okay.
You lost control
Thanks
of your
for-
emotions and blacked
Thanks
out.
for checking in on me.
Meanwhile, your captain,
We look out for our
despite
own.
having lost contact
Always.
with Houston, safely guided the shuttle back to Earth. So you tell me who's the real astronaut.
That's impossible.
Listen, Greg, you've had a tough time of it. Get some rest.
Peter, well, maybe you're right. To be honest, I thought you'd all lost it, putting a cat in space, but
I know I'm
maybe
not the only
one
person here who's
banana.
lost someone. I just,
Maybe I'm the one who
I
can't
miss him
cut
so
them off.
much.
I have no idea what you're saying, Greg, but if you're hungry, there's sandwiches in the break room. So, what do you think, Colonel?
I think this whole thing stinks, Peter. Every astronaut we sent up there has come back with the same story. So you tell me, what's really going on?
I don't have an answer. And it's not like Mr. Pebbles to say something. He's far too dignified to talk ill of his peers.
What is it, Peter? How is it every human that goes up there ends up in a rubber room?
I don't know. But Greg seems to be in fine health. All that's left now is to send him home and hope for the best.
You're back. Is everything all right? What did the doctor say?
Everything's fine, Doris. I've been fully cleared. They say the best thing for me now is a little...
I'm sorry. I wouldn't be very good company right now.
Yes, it is. By the way, I saw a strange billboard down on the way here advertising something called Coca-Cola.
The Coke sign? What? It's been there for ages. It really is an eyesore.
That's odd. I don't remember it being there.
I'm surprised you remember anything given what you've been through. Why don't you sit down and I'll fix you up a hot cup of Folgers coffee.
Folgers? What's that? You know I'm first local Joe.
You've been drinking Folgers coffee every morning for the past 10 years.
Have I? Something's not right here. First the billboard, now the coffee.
Greg, you're fine. It's probably just fatigue. Or some bizarre side effect of health. Besides, the most important things are all just as you remember them. Oh, don't let an old billboard and a cup of coffee end the world for you.
That Deathlon Concord was bad news, huh, Mom?
What if it's other things
Ever
that
seen one of those suckers before?
More important things? Like baseball, pinup girls, and
all by myself.
things
No
with your
power
tongue.
on, fancy minigun, just a paper. One bullet.
You telling me you killed a death claw with one bullet? Come on. What do you take me for?
It's true. I might not look it, but back in the day,
Ed,
I had quite
you know
the
damn
show.
well I prefer to sleep on a hammock.
Or quite the imagination.
Jesus, it's like I don't even know you. Which means something's definitely wrong. Very, very wrong.
What could it be?
I don't know. But I'm turning myself in for a psychiatric evaluation. Let's just hope they can fix me before it's too late. They put him in Parsons?
I don't blame them. Granted, most of the things he said were harmless. Bizarre, but harmless.
Oh? How so?
He kept asking for a Nuka-Cola, whatever that is. I gave him a Coke and he practically spit it out. Still, that kind of behavior isn't grounds for locking him up. But his fixation with the captain is another story. He's under the impression Mr. Pebbles was a cat. Can you believe that? He thinks NASA would not only recruit cats for their space program, but have them lead humans on missions.
As if cats had anywhere near the emotional intelligence of dogs.
I tried to explain it to him, Colonel. I even showed him Mr. Pebbles' spacesuit, clearly made for a canine American. But there's no reasoning with a crazy person. In fact, you should hear who he thinks is president.
It can't be any crazier than the one we elected. Speaking of which, I'll need to debrief President Domino in the morning. I'll expect a full report by then.
Of course, Colonel.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Isn't the chicken lucky that eggs are the shape they are? Why, imagine if that egg was shaped like a square. Or worse yet, a banana. That would be a cruel joke indeed. And aren't you lucky that Yum Yum deviled eggs are the same? Perfectly round and contoured. Each egg is hard-boiled to perfection and stuffed with generous helpings of mayonnaise, salt, and mustard. From the hen to the Yum Yum dairy case, they're kept fresh all the way. So they're grade A all the way. Just look at how happy Mother Hen is to see her children. Seasoned and ready to eat, right out of the box. And she knows they're guaranteed fresh because of the label. After all, who but Yum Yum sells eggs even a chicken could love?
Nobody.
We're on the air from Bristol to Beat now. This is Atomic Radio.
They hunted him down, they stormed his village, and they ruined his picnic. But these were no ordinary ants. They were vicious beasts sent by the queen of six-legged terrors, the Ant Agonizer. Hubris Comics presents The Ants of Agony 2!
So at last, you've penetrated the court of the Antagonizer, queen of all ants.
If there is one thing Grognak knows, it is penetration. But there is another thing he knows. You are not an ant. You are an antique. And now you are history.
Lies! If you shall not bow before your ant queen, then bleed before the Antagonizer.
Grognak does not bleed. He crushes.
Will our hero put an end to the antics of evil, or will the Antagonizer colonize humanity from now until the end of time? Find out in this motion picture extravaganza, Grognak and the Ants of Agony 2!
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Food scientists and inquiring minds want to know, what makes cram so delicious? Let's ask Sam Smith over at the Bugle.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have an answer. According to my sources, it's some kind of pink meat. All signs would point to a pig being the culprit, but I've tried pork, and it doesn't taste half as good as cram.
Well, Sam, I suppose the mystery continues. Why don't we ask a local housewife, Lynn Beasley, what she thinks?
You want to know what's inside cram? To be honest, I have no idea. I'm just glad it saves me time, and the children love it.
But aren't you worried about the nutritional contents?
I never thought about that. Is it unhealthy?
Of course not. Cram uses all natural ingredients that are then processed and filled with preservatives to ensure lasting flavor. You see, even Mother Nature needs a little help in the kitchen every now and then. While we may never know what's inside a box of cram, I think we can all agree that the taste is no mystery. Cram. It's good.
And now, some music.
Into each life some rain must fall, but too much is falling in mine. Into each heart some tears must fall, but someday the sun will shine. Some folks can lose the blues in their hearts, but when I think of you, another shower starts. Into each life some rain must fall, but too much is falling in mine.
Into each life some rain must fall, but too much is falling in mine. Into each heart some tears must fall, but someday the sun will shine. Some folks can lose the blues in their hearts, but when I think of you, another shower starts. Into each life some rain must fall, but too much is falling in mine.
Into each and every life, some rain has got to fall, but too much of that stuff has fallen into mine. And into each heart, some tears gotta fall. But I know that someday that sun is bound to shine.
Some folks can lose the blues in their heart. But when I think of you, another shower starts. Into each line, some rain must fall, but too much is falling in my
Don't touch that dial. You found the best radio station in Boston, Atomic Radio.
This is what a marriage looks like at the beginning.
On Plymouth Rock. If today any shock they should try to stem, instead of landing on Plymouth Rock would land on them. In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking, but now God knows anything goes. Good offers too, who once knew better words, now only used for letter words, writing prose. Anything goes. If driving fast cars you like, if low bars you like, if old hymns you like, if bare limbs you like, if Mae West you like, or me undressed you like, why nobody will oppose. When every night the set and smart is intruding and nudist parties in studio, anything goes. When Mrs. Ned McLean, God bless her, can get Russian red to yes, then I suppose anything goes. When Rockefeller still can hoard enough money to let Max Gordon produce his show, the world has gone mad today, and good bad today, and black white today, and day night today, and that gent today, you gave a cent today, once had several shadows. When folks who still can ride in jitneys find out which
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Ever seen seen a stock car race, you'll find the Zips and the Fleas, the Christless Corvages, all zooming along at speeds deemed unsafe for civilian roads. Not unsafe for you, of course, for your engine. So how do these fast cats manage to accelerate at such speeds without breaking down? Here at Daytona and other leading tracks, they all run on Red Rocket gasoline. What are limits? With Red Rocket gasoline, you'll be able to drive without them, free from all the wear and tear brought on by other leading brands. You can treat residential areas like your own personal freeway, and knowing those pesky street signs no longer apply. What street signs? The sky's the limit. After all, you're no longer driving a car. You're taking off on a rocket. Red Rocket gasoline. Drive in, fly out.
Don't touch that dial now. You found the best radio station in Boston. Atomic Radio.
Sweet.
Are you Mr. Folsom?
Something I can help you with, ma'am?
You haven't heard? It's in all the papers. They say I've murdered someone.
I see. And you need a lawyer to defend you?
Well, yes, but no one will take my case.
So that's why you came to me.
Well, not really. The court appointed you. I was told you're my public defender.
Ah, the good old Sixth Amendment. Right to counsel. Remind me to thank the Founding Fathers for keeping me employed.
Are you familiar with the details of my case? Do you think I can win?
Well, I'm just a simple countryman. I don't have a degree from Harvard Law or some fancy school upstate. But I do have one thing the prosecution doesn't have.
The truth?
No, don't be silly. Charm. I got charm. Please rise. The Court of the Second Judicial Circuit Criminal Division is now in session. The Honorable Judge Rayburn presiding.
Everyone but the jury may be seated. Defense, call your first witness.
The defense calls the witness Lily Adams to the stand. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
So, Miss Adams, if you might state your occupation.
I'm a maid for Mr. and Mrs. Watkins.
And you were there the night Mr. Watkins was murdered?
Yes, I saw Mrs. Watkins do it with my own eyes.
I see. Miss Adams, can you do me a favor and tell me how many fingers I'm holding up?
Mr. Prosecutor, how dare you insult me with such an obscene gesture?
No, Miss Adams. The correct answer is 2. 2 fingers.
That is not the point.
Oh, it's exactly the point. Now, I may be just a simple country boy from a backwoods dumpster, but I know my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And if Miss Adams can't even see how many fingers I held up, how could she be sure it was my client who committed the murder?
Order! Order! Order in the court!
So, life without parole, huh?
Yeah, it's a damn shame, considering the key witness was blind.
I'm sure you did your best, Mr. Folsom.
I did, didn't I? Hell, she'd probably be in the electric chair if it weren't for me.
Best to take solace in the small victories.
Thanks, Jim. One day I'll know what that's like. Victory. But anyways, enough about the case. What can I do for you?
Yes, can you fill up my tank and check the oil?
Sure thing.
The dustiest, the winds are the gustiest, the gates are the rustiest, the bars are the
the crustiest, the songs the lustiest, the friends the dustiest, way back home. Back home. The trees are the sappiest, the days are the nappiest, the dogs are the yappiest, the kids are the scrappiest, the jokes the snappiest, the folks the happiest, way back home. Don't know why I left the homestead, I really must confess. I'm a weary exile, singing my song of loneliness. The grass is the springiest, the bees are the stingiest, the birds are the wingiest, the bells are the ringiest, the heart's the singiest, the arms the clingiest, way back home.
Nice.
What about the sun? Sun's the blaziest, feels the daisiest, and the cows
Powering up. Protectron on duty.
The pigs are the snootiest, the owls are the hootiest, the plants the fruitiest, stars the shootiest, the grin's the funniest, the smile's the sunniest, way back home. Don't know why I left the homestead, I really must confess. I'm a weary exile, singing my song of loneliness. The food is the spreadiest, the wine is the headiest, the pals are the readiest, the gals are the steadiest, the love the liveliest, the life the loveliest, way back, way back, way back home, sweet home.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Man, I really wish superheroes were real.
Actually, Clara, superheroes are real.
Really, Mama? You mean there's heroes out there saving the city like the Silver Shroud?
Not quite, dear. In real life, superheroes are corporations, like the Super Duper Mart.
Can the Super Duper Mart kill bad guys with its deadly shroud?
No, but it's got everything I need to cook your dinner. The gardening tools I use to grow these carrots, the broth I'm using for the soup, as well as the stove I'm using to cook them. All came from one place. Can you guess where?
The Super Duper Mart?
That's right. They really saved Mommy's day. And her bacon.
Wow, it saved breakfast too? The Super Duper Mart is the bestest hero ever.
It certainly is.
The best in talk, sports, drama, and music. Atomic Radio.
What's the matter, John? You look a little blue.
What do you mean I look blue?
I mean what I mean. You look blue.
So you're saying I look sunny? Like the sky?
No, the opposite. I'd say your mind's a little cloudy.
So you're saying I look gray? Personally, I'd say I look a little green.
That don't follow you. Are you saying you're green in the gills? Green with envy?
Nah, like I'm about to puke. Probably from looking at your mug all day.
Look blue, grey or green, the point is you don't look well. There's something wrong.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is. I just found out my best friend is colorblind.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Button Gwinnett. You know him as an American statesman.
one of the signatories of the Declaration of Independence. He was the president of Georgia, a saint of freedom, and a man of his word. And now, he's a beer. Gwinnett Beer. The only brew made from hops as fine and patriotic as Budden himself. Ah, now that's the taste of freedom.
And now, some music.
I'm as corny as Kansas in August. I'm as normal as blueberry pie. No more a smart little girl with no heart. I have found me a wonderful guy. I am in a conventional dither with a conventional scar in my eye. And you will note there's a lump in my throat when I speak of that wonderful guy. I'm as tried and as gay as the daisy in May, shea coming true. I'm romantic and bright as a moon, happy night, pouring light on the dew. I'm as corny as Kansas in August, high as a flag on the 4th of July. If you'll excuse an expression I use, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with a wonderful guy. No more a smart little girl with no heart. I have found me a wonderful guy. I'm as tried and as gay as the daisy. I'm romantic and bright as the moon, happy night, pouring light on the dew. I'm as corny as August, high as the sun on the 4th of July. If you'll excuse an expression I use, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with a wonderful guy.
You found the best radio station in all of Boston. Atomic Radio.
Evening, sir. How may I help you?
Well, this is going to sound a bit strange, but I was wondering if you could tell me where I am.
Why, you're in a hotel.
Right, but where? What city?
City? I'm afraid you're confused. There are no cities here.
What do you mean?
Ah, we get your type all the time. You must have been in an accident. That's why you don't remember how you got here.
Well, how did I get here?
I'm afraid there's no way of putting this gently. So I'll just come out and say it. You're dead.
What? That's ridiculous. I'm standing right here.
You are, and you're not. Look behind you, for instance. Don't you find it strange that this hotel has no front door? How exactly did you get inside?
I don't know. Maybe this is some kind of trick.
That's certainly possible. Perhaps, as you say, this is all an elaborate stage. But there are some things a person can't fake. Like a pulse. Why don't you check yours?
Why, I don't feel anything.
Now check mine. You see? Nothing. Now, if I may have your name.
It's, Robin. Robin Archer.
Archer. Why, yes, here you are. Stamped in the corner of Main and 5th at 6:47 p.m. Pronounced dead at the scene.
I remember. There was a man on the street. He asked for the time, and then... Jesus. It's true. I'm dead. I'm really dead.
It appears so.
So, what happens now?
Well, you have a choice. While we don't have any doors, you may have noticed we do have an elevator. In fact, you can take it down to the ground floor, back from whence you came.
Wait, I can go back? Why didn't you just say so then? If that's the case, I'm going home right now.
It's not that simple, Mr. Archer. You go back, and you're starting over from the beginning. You have a new name, a new family, and a new life.
And if I take the elevator up?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Molded by philosophers and drunks alike. What world awaits us after we die? It would be so much easier if we knew the answer.
Are you saying you don't know what's up there?
Oh, heavens, no. I don't have the courage. You see, I was once like you. The problem is, I could never decide which way to go. After I got down. So I'm staying here. Gallant.
But I can take the elevator up. That's heaven up there, right? There's none of the evil and horrors you'll find back on Earth.
And yet, let me ask you something. Who allowed those evils to exist?
I don't know. I guess that would be God.
And after all you've seen, after how you got here, you believe he's a benevolent one. How do you know what's waiting for you up there is any better than what's down below?
I guess it's a matter of fate.
I'm afraid so. You must choose between the devil you know and the God you know.
So what's how many go up? And how many go down?
As a matter of fact, it's dead even. 999,999,999 on both sides. You will be back.
Huh. Choose.
That was surprising. Thought for sure he'd go the other way.
I thought so too. But either way, that settles it. The agreement was the first to $1 billion, wasn't it?
Yes. Rather unfortunate for them. But no one can say we didn't give humanity a choice.
True enough. Free will is tricky that way. I can never figure out if it's a strength or a flaw.
Well, perhaps the next world will prove more decisive. Let's go.
This is bullshit.
No matter what you do, turn around and I'll be there to go right behind you, baby, right behind you, baby, right behind you, baby, and you never gonna get away. Well, you can go to the east, go to the west, the north and the south, and all the rest you can walk at the heart, or stroll across the floor. No matter what you do, you'll never get anymore. Well, you can fly through the clouds, sail on the sea.
What the hell was that?
And now, a message from our sponsors.
Does your wife complain of headaches, nausea, or fatigue during that special time? Well, the problem isn't with her. It's with you, Nimno. She's unhappy with your performance, and the best way to cure it is with W.A. Chesterfield's Magic Nighttime Elixir. Every bottle contains 50% ox blood, 50% ground rhino horn, and 100% pure Spanish fly. That's right. That's 200% for twice the virility of any other brand. With just one swig of this potent love-making elixir, you'll have your missus cured of bedtime excuses forever. Remember, men, that's W.A. Chesterfield's Magic Nighttime Elixir. Accept no substitutes.
Don't touch that dial. You found the best radio station in Boston. Atomic Radio.
You've got here? Well, I do what I can. One man's junk, another man's treasure, and all that. Yeah. Say, let me ask you something. Where's the best place to stay here in town? Why, that would be the Statesman Hotel, just across the street. And what if I was a Nazi? What? If I was a Nazi, what would be the best hotel to stay in? Why would you want to know that? Because I'm tracking one. If I was tracking a God-fearing American, I'd stay in the Statesman. But I'm not, am I? I'm looking for a Nazi man, and he's probably staying at a Nazi hotel. Well, that would probably be the Waldorf on 22nd. Thank you, sir. And God bless America.
Mein Gott, it's you. It's really you.
Yes, it's me. How did you know I was alive?
I heard rumors, Ghost Feely, hinting that you'd made a life here. But why Washington, of all places?
Why not? It's the perfect cover. Who'd have thought that I, the notorious son of Hitler, would be marrying the president's daughter?
That's a little bold, don't you think? There will be much public exposure.
Yes. Imagine their surprise when they also find out I'm having an affair with her mother, the First Lady.
But what if someone recognizes you? You can at least shave the mustache.
The mustache is a family heirloom.
But it's a Hitler mustache.
It's a Howard mustache now. But yes, it'll be a Hitler mustache soon enough, when I give the order to invade.
True, Howard?
Yes, Loretta, it's true. I'm the son of Hitler.
What?
Wait, that's not what you're here for. What's this all about?
It's about your affair with my mother. But suddenly, that doesn't seem all that important.
So what happens now? Are you going to turn me in? Your own fiancé, the father of your half-sister!
Well, if you put it that way, then. Yes.
Fine. Call whatever passes for a Gestapo in this country. But know this. I'm the son of one of the greatest military tacticians in the history of mankind. You'll never catch me alive!
So you caught him alive?
Yep. And he was really staying at the Waldorf? Nope. The Statesman. The last place anyone would look.
Smart. So how did you catch him?
Easy. I looked everywhere else first. And when I was done doing that, I got a phone call from his fiancée, telling me the number of his hotel room.
How about that? You're a real sleuth. You know that?
No, of course. But I'm an American first.
Well, I don't know, but I've been told uranium ore's worth more than gold. So, McCad, I bought me a Jeep. I got that bug, and I can't sleep. Uranium fever has gone and got me down. Uranium fever is spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand,
I'm going out to take me some government land.
uranium fever has gone and got me down. Well, I had a talk with the AEC, and they brought out some maps that looked good to me. And one showed me a spot he said he knowed, so I straddled my Jeep and headed down the road. I reckon I drove about 100 miles down a bumpy road out through the wilds, when all of a sudden I bounced to a stop at the foot of a mountain, didn't have no top. Uranium fever has done and got me down. Uranium fever is spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand,
I'm going out to take me some government land.
uranium fever has gone and got me down. Well, I took the Geiger and I started to climb right up to the top, where I thought I'd find a hunk of rock that'd make it click, just like I'd read about Vernon Pick. On the second day, I made the top, and I'm telling you, Steve, I was ready to stop. The only clicking that I heard that day was the bones in my back that had gone astray. Uranium fever has gone and got me down. Uranium fever, it's spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand,
I'm going out to stake me some government land.
uranium fever has gone and got me down. Well, you pack up your things, you head out again into some unknown spot where nobody's been. You reach the spot where your fortune lies. You find it's been staked by 17 other guys. Well, I ain't kidding, I ain't gonna quit. That bug's done caught me and I've been bit. So with a Geiger counter and a pick in my hand, I'll keep right on staking that government land. Uranium fever has gone and got me down. Uranium fever is spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand,
I'm going out to stake me some government land.
uranium fever has gone and got me down.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Waking up is never fun. You're tired and groggy. You hate your job, your marriage is in shambles. And you have a sneaking suspicion your children are drug addicts. Why would anyone in your position want to get up and play out such a miserable existence? Fortunately for you, the Wakemaster alarm clock is so loud, so infuriatingly noisy, that you'll have no choice but to get out of bed and run 3 miles just to get the ringing out of your ears. With its password-encrypted snooze button, this precise, state-of-the-art alarm clock will never fail to wake you up, saving you and your family from your own existential dread. The Wakemaster alarm clock, now in 3 colors, platinum, yellow, and lime green.
The best in talk, sports, drama, and music. Atomic Radio.
When a city is besieged by bandits and its queen seeks the aid of a magic lamp, only one man can be counted on to retrieve it. Grognak,
That's
the barbarian. Yet this is no ordinary genie, for his lamp has been buried for 1,000 years in cursed sand.
Oh, great and powerful genie, please grant my wish. My kingdom is at the mercy of bandits, and only your power can save it.
I will grant your wish, Queen. But in exchange,
Got it.
your people will submit to my rule.
So you'd make us all your slaves? That's not what I asked for at all.
Isn't it? You asked me to save you from the bandits. At no point did you specify the term.
Tell me, you bag of hot air, can a genie grant his own wish?
I don't see why not.
Good, because when Grognak is through with you, your wish should never been born.
Can no hero defeat the genie and the bandit horde? Or has the kingdom trapped itself in the walls of its own wish? Find out in this Hubris Comics presentation of Grognak the Barbarian in Demon Slave, Demon Sands.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey, you ever wonder where a Cup of Joe gets their name?
There's actually 2 theories. It might be a portmanteau.
Gesundheit.
No, that wasn't a sneeze. A portmanteau is a conflation of 2 words. In this case, Joe is a combination of Java and Mocha.
That makes sense. What's the other theory?
Well, because coffee's for ordinary Joes, it makes sense that that's what they call their favorite beverage. Joe.
But my name's Landon Christopherson. Does that mean I can't enjoy the smooth, great taste of Cup of Joe's?
Well, Landon, I have to admit your name is kind of ridiculous. You should really consider changing it. But as long as you were born here in America, I don't see a problem with you having a cup.
Oh, good. We don't want some good-for-nothing pinko drink in our coffee anyway.
I think we can all agree on that. A Cup of Joe really is the all-American Colombian coffee.
And now, some music.
I say I'll move the mountains, and I'll move the mountains if he wants them out of the way. Crazy calls me, sure I'm crazy, crazy in love I'd say. I say I'll go through fire, and I'll go through fire, as he wants it, so it will be. Crazy calls me, sure I'm crazy, crazy in love, you see. Like the wind
Only opens with a key.
he moves me with a smile. The difficult I'll do
Hey,
right
buddy,
now.
you here to help? My friend Jack's in trouble.
Impossible will take a little while. I say
I just got here, but yeah.
Okay, good. I can get us in, but first, I need a key. The kind that'll work on any door? The kind that looks like a bobby pin?
I was just exploring.
Sure you were, but how about you explore something else, like helping a guy in need? Namely, Jack. But you can still help. All I need is a bobby pin. You got one?
Here you go.
Great. Now, before I open this door, I gotta ask, who are you? And can I trust you to help me?
Before I answer, will you tell me who you are?
Huh. Good question. Who are we, really? Or better yet, what are we? There's a lot of drama in a pronoun. A lot of drama. Who, what, why. What I'm saying is, we could be anyone, anything. I just need to know if you're gonna help me save Jack.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good, good. Confusion is a good thing. Trust me. You'll figure it out once we get inside. All you need to know is, Jack is in trouble, and the clock is ticking. Tick, tick, tick.
It's hard to run and play with the field in such bad shape. And that's not even counting all the litter.
Hey, kid. I'm not litter. I'm a bill.
You're a what now?
A bill to clean up this very park. Before that, I was an idea, pulled right out from your bottom. Thanks for not wiping, by the way. Anyways, kid, the point is, if you take me to Capitol Hill, I can someday become a law.
How do we make you a law?
Before we begin, let's do a little roll call, if you don't mind.
Thing
If you're
is,
here,
a lot of
say,
voters don't have a reason to want to clean up your park. So you gotta convince them.
How do we do that?
Easy. We just change up some of my
You're
words
here.
so I appeal to
Aunt
more
Patty.
people.
Here.
Like
Bobby
instead of
Craig.
me saying,
Here.
let's clean
Arthur
up the
D.
park,
Present.
what if I
Good.
said, let's
Now that
clean up
everyone's
the park
present
by
and accounted
building a
for,
cigarette
here's the
factory
deal.
on top of it?
This man
And
here
then gave the money
is
to our
sick.
good friend
He's
that
also
Trey
my
told us to
prisoner.
build
Now, if you're all
That's not
wondering
what
why
I
I've
asked for
locked
at
you
all.
inside,
I want the park
well,
to be clean
it's
so
not
I
to
can
keep
run
you
and
in.
play.
It's to keep
Don't
the institute
worry, we'll
out.
also add a
That's
provision
right.
that lets
They got men
companies
all over the
advertise in
Commonwealth looking for this sumbitch,
And once
so
you've
I'd
tasted all the
appreciate it
premium
if you
tobacco
just showed a little
found in every
patience
Trey
while we
Torres
rest up.
cigarette,
Come morning,
your
we'll be
lungs
over
will
your
do
skin
damage to
and
wanting
out
to
of your hair.
exercise of any
Nonsense
kind.
dangerous?
I don't know,
Why not just
Bill.
shoot him?
That doesn't
Sure,
sound
I
very
could do
fun.
that. Just cut the damn red wire and let him die. But then who's gonna explain to the scientists over at the facility why that fancy synthetic android is nothing more than a lifeless doll? See, I need him intact
Oh,
so
no,
that they can
what have
poke
I
and
done?
prod and do whatever it is sciencey types do to their guinea pigs.
Except you've got the wrong guy, Jack. Or should I say, the wrong Jack guy.
And here's your proof
Oh my
right
God.
there.
There's two of them.
That's right. 2 Jacks, 1 synth.
Yeah, but he's not the synth. I am.
Well, you're certainly as ugly as he is. But short of shooting you dead, I don't suppose you have any proof.
Not really. You can open us up, but chances are you'd find the same bones.
He's right. I heard the Institute makes exact replicas. Right down to the T. You kidding me?
Jesus.
You shouldn't have come, Jack. Now they know. You know how it is, Jack. I just couldn't leave you to die either. That'd be a little too heavy, even for me.
Well, stick me in a jar and call me Dill. This is what I call a real fucking pickle.
Oh, God. Now what are we gonna do?
It's simple. We lock this place down until we figure out who's got the nuts and who's got the bolts. And I have a feeling this scabber over here can help us. You, come over here.
Jack's a really good guy. He doesn't deserve any of this.
You know this man? Is what he's saying true? Is he a synth?
Sorry. I barely know the guy.
Well, you came in with him, didn't you? Or do you go around just helping any old dumb fuck who asks you for help? How about this? Why don't you interrogate them for me? I'll be standing here watching you do it. Now, I've got my own opinion, but let's see if we can't come to a consensus.
And just who is this synth, anyway? What do you know about him?
Who, Jack? All I know is what I've heard. One day they say he just started acting different, all cold and unemotional like. Well, if that doesn't sound like a synth, I don't know what does. But then those same people started saying Jack went back to his normal self, which got me thinking maybe the two of them were working together. Working in shifts, more or less. But there was only one way to find out, so one day I walked in his house, smacked him with the butt of my gun, and left a note for the other Jack. Wasn't sure if I was crazy, leaving a note for the guy I kidnapped. But seeing as there's a Tweedledee and Tweedledum here, I'd say my hunch was on the button.
I don't have any more questions.
Good, then you can stop bothering me and start questioning them. You find out which one is the synth, then I take him to my handlers. Easy peasy, Japanesey. But there's one condition. Don't hurt him. Not a scratch, you hear? The contract I have specifically states they're to be delivered undamaged.
Excuse me.
I think there's a way out of this, without anyone getting hurt.
I can't tell if that's the human or the machine talking.
I get what you're saying, but it seems like it's better to pay attention to the what rather than the who. Anyways, here's my plan. The bounty hunter said we're no good to him damaged, right? So what if we damaged ourselves? You shoot Jack, I shoot non-Jack, and no one has to die. Peace through violence. Just not too much violence. Or else.
Hey.
Go on, hurt him. But make it a flesh wound. Kill him, and you'll probably just make me angry.
To be honest, I didn't believe it when he said Jack was a synth.
It doesn't matter which one you ask. Jack and
I mean,
will
there's
give you
two
the
of them.
same answer. But if
One
you
of them has
choose
to be a
wrong,
fake,
this bounty
right?
hunter will come back and finish what he started. Which means the best solution is to kill the hunter and let us go free.
Tired of taking a beating at school? Need to show the bullies what for? Well, head on down to the world-famous...
Hey, I'm on your side. I just need you to tell me the truth.
Well, I'm not a synth, but I can't speak for Jack. He claims we're twins. Given he hasn't tried to replace me, I've chosen to believe him. Either way, you only have two options. Take Jack, or kill the bounty hunter. If you choose me, he'll come back for the other Jack once he finds out I'm human.
Never, ever trust a synth.
And learn how to stand up for yourself.
Go on, hurt him, but make it a flesh wound. Kill him, and you'll probably just make me angry.
Don't touch that dial. You found the best radio station in Boston. Atomic Radio.
Hey there, Red. What brings you
Sure,
out here?
he's been acting a little strange
So,
lately,
did
but
I have the
a
right
synth?
guy all along?
That just seems so outlandish.
I ain't never heard you be rude to anyone. Least of all me.
Sorry. I'm just a little jumpy.
Jumpy? You're acting bluff.
I still need some more time.
Now, are you going to tell me what this is all about?
There you are. I should have figured you'd turn yellow.
The only coward here is you, Corbin. I would have killed you yesterday if not for my doctor's appointment.
You're making that up.
Not a
So,
chance.
did I have the right guy all along?
I've had it scheduled for weeks.
Whatever you're thinking, it doesn't matter. He's not the one that's going to die here.
So you're siding with them. You do realize what this means, right? It ain't just me you're tussling with.
He's right. They think we're working with the Institute. We can't leave any witnesses.
You hear that, y'all? If you want to keep your sorry asses among the living, I suggest you grab your guns.
To be perfectly honest,
That's enough. Corbin, I know your mother, and I'll tell you right now, she's no saint. And Red, the doctor's been out of town for about a week now. No one believes you made an appointment.
It doesn't matter. He knows my secret. I'm a coward. He's the only one who knows he has to die.
But don't you see? You're both cowards. Corbin ain't gonna tell his soul so long as you don't. It's what they call mutually exclusive trust.
She's right. I can't tell people you're a yellow little liver without you saying the same about
I can't tell people you're
No way is this worth it.
bushwhacker without your son believes it either.
See, ain't no reason to fight. Now let's see about fixing you two some breakfast.
Jack, I still can't believe you came back for me. Sure, that's what brothers do, isn't it? But you could have carried on Jack's life by yourself. No one would have been the wiser. Not true. I would have known. And besides, I'm too lazy to do your job myself. That's just about the only thing you've said that makes sense. So what now? We can't stay here. It's only a matter of time before word gets out. Doesn't matter to me. I go where you go.
Velma. How's it going?
Oh, you know, same old, same old.
See, was that Red and Corbin I saw on their way out?
Yep. Don't worry, they'll be fine. Might be limping around for a while, but they'll live.
What happened?
I don't know. I turned my back to use the stove, and I hear gunshots go off.
Oh, dear. I thought them two were cowards.
Maybe not. Luckily, they're still pretty bad shots. Both of them didn't even take their guns out of their holsters. Ended up shooting their own toes off. Of course, if you ask them, they'll say they shot the other guy in the foot.
Well, whatever helps get them through the day. Say, do you got any pie?
Coming right up.
Jack and I had an arrangement. We'd split the work and have twice the free time.
Hi.
We don't want anyone asking questions.